Did you know the B Series mount kit for the first generation CRX and 84-7 Civic is the first mount kit I ever designed? Welcome to VTEC Academy. You're about to get schooled. A long time ago in the 90s, I designed my first mount kit. There were a couple of companies that were making mounts for the 88 to 91 Civic with a B Series, but nobody was making it for the 84 to 7. And we had a couple of cars we wanted to put a B Series in. So I took it upon myself to design a kit. Now, that kit has been in production since 1998. We've been making it solid since then. It's gone through a few iterations, but for the most part, it's pretty much stayed the same. We have three mounts. We have the front mount, which is on the front of the block. It bolts to the stock place on the frame rail in this car. We have an engine mount that goes on top of the transmission. The only change is we went to a billet mount at one point, and the rear mount is used in conjunction with a 96 Civic, a 99 SI rear bracket, and although this is the Hasport version of it, that hasn't changed either. So recently I was at a meet and somebody told me that their engine was crooked, and I'm thinking to myself, we've been selling this kit for quite a while, and even though we've made some upgrades to it, I needed to see if that was correct. So we're gonna take this motor, shove it in this car, and check it to see if it's level like it should be. This particular car, by the way, was owned by my father. He used to race it. Now, originally it was built by a gentleman by the name of Tim Beadle, who worked at a Honda service center. He decided he wanted to go road racing, but after trying it a couple times, he decided he preferred drag racing, sold it to my father. So for years, this thing ran around with just regular EW motor, the 1.5 liter SI engine, and he raced it like that. Once we got a hold of it though, we decided to put a B16 in it because we wanted it to be a little bit quicker than that. Now this car hasn't run for quite a few years. We actually prototyped the K series kit in it, but my son doesn't want a K in the car. He wants to go back to a B. In fact, he wants a high revving B16 that kind of captures the essence of the early Honda stuff. So we're gonna take this B16, put it in this car, get it running, and get it back out to the track. By the way, this B16 was actually in a car of a friend of ours and was built, I believe, originally by Bryant Robinson, who you may have heard of him. He's got the original EK that had my L15 B7 kit in it. He was making harnesses for that early on, and this engine was built for another friend and was in his car, and quite a few years ago I traded a couple Sparco seats for this engine and transmission, and which turned out to be a really good deal because the prices just went shooting up right after that. So this engine has skunk cams, skunk intake manifold, otherwise basically a stock B16. It has a transmission with LSD, and we're gonna shove it in here and get back out to the track and see what it'll do. This body kit is kind of a modified version of the Mugen wide body kit that they were racing in the 80s. This body kit, I believe, was available from Comptech. It was available from King Motorsports, directly from Mugen, and there was also a version of it available through Jamie Hausman, who is up in Canada. Now, what we did is we made some modifications to it to make it a little bit easier. The front bumper originally was multiple pieces. We decided to make it a single piece and also mold in the headlights to it. And then that actually changed the front bumper as well. But it's a cool wide body kit. This particular car, built in the mid 2000s, was raced a little bit by my father and by Tim. And then we basically took it over and made it into our track day car. The interior, I'm not sure who did the roll cage, but it's kind of originally was a Bolton roll cage made for SCCA spec for the weight of the car. It's a little bit thin for our needs, and plus it kind of is tight on my son. He happens to be quite a bit taller than me, quite a bit larger than me, and he doesn't fit in this very well, so we're gonna cut the cage out and redo that as well. There was also a fuel cell put in the car. Now, they did a lot of chopping up in the back of the car in order to put the fuel cell in. I personally would have preferred to keep the stock fuel tank in, but they made the decision to put the fuel cell in, and we're gonna probably stick with that. But we are going to go ahead and reinforce the rear of the car, because if it ever got hit in the rear, it would probably total the car right out. And we don't want that. We'd like to keep this car around for a little while. As you can see, it's got Hasport wheels on it. Now, normally what it would run is a cantilevered slick made by Goodyear. They're very, very expensive. I want to try and do something a little bit less expensive. So we're looking at some slicks that can be run on either 13 or probably 15-inch wheels, so we can get a bigger brake. And we'll be setting this up with wheels to do that as well. The suspension right now are modified Koni shocks. They're actually, back in the day, Koni would take your shocks and you could get them shortened. So the front shocks were shocks for this particular vehicle. They were made a little bit shorter for road racing. The rear shocks are actually Type R Koni rear shocks. They happen to bolt right in. They're shorter already, so they work really well for that. You can still occasionally find these for sale on eBay or on racer parts sites and stuff like that. We've got a couple of sets. We're going to hold on to them because they're kind of rare. This car doesn't use normal springs up front. It uses torsion beams. Now, these particular torsion beams have been upgraded. They're a little bit bigger than the stock, so that basically raised the spring rate. We actually have some that are quite a bit stiffer, although I think I'm going to save those for another project we have, which is going to be K-Series powered. On the rear, they use springs. It also has a solid beam rear axle. We're going to have to make some modifications to that so it works a little bit better at a lowered position. Right now it's stock with a slightly shortened panhard bar. It would be nice to have an adjustable height panhard bar so that we can keep the geometry a little bit better so the back end's not shifting around under compression. Basically, the interior has been stripped out. It is dirty though. The car has been sitting for absolute years. They did something really unique with the sunroof. They basically took it out, took all the rubber seals off, and just kind of holding it in now with Zeus fasteners. And what's interesting about that is it's super lightweight and it's way out of the way. What's not interesting about that is when it rains, it leaks all over the place. So haven't decided if I'm gonna change anything on that, but might have to put some rubber seals in there as well to fix that up. We're gonna build just kind of a small dash, get some sort of electronic dash for it, and then hopefully once we get the new cage in it, it'll fit Carter comfortably. We can get a nice big seat in there, and we can take it back to the track. The paint job is a prismatic paint job from DuPont. Just so happens that the guy that painted this car was a body shop, actually supervised the body shop for Honda cars in Mesa, and he was able to get this product for free. They mixed all 3 different versions of the prismatic paints, and this car is absolutely spectacular when it's clean and in direct sunlight. As you walk around, the paint colors change: emerald green, purples, reds, and it just looks blues, and it looks absolutely amazing. The stickers need a refresh, and it needs a good cleaning as well. So since we're like threading into an aluminum bracket, I suggest you do it with hand tools, not impact drivers. So, got our mounts in. Well, let's lift it up and check for levelness. I got to put the rear bolts in.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. Okie doke. We're not going to torque them all the way down at this particular point because the engine's just going to come out again for wiring. He's new VTEC Academy sticker on the side.
Yeah, I remember when you guys put that on there, it was like, oh man, this is psychedelic. It's the Party CRX.
It is the Party CRX. So if you look at it in relationship to this line right here, you can see that it is level. People were complaining that this made the engine sit way low on this side. And we have the brackets in, the mounts in, it sits level.
Let's actually get the level.
Put a straight edge on it.
Straight edge.
All right. Come back. If you get down nice and low, you can see that this is level with the straight edge in the back. This is a little crooked because it's been, no longer has this hood latch support. But that's not to say that the customer's cars aren't level and straight. There could be a problem. There's actually a couple different versions of this bracket right here that bolts onto the block. I know one of them for a fact was too long, but none of those should have went out. Anyway, if you have a problem, do us a favor, put a straight edge on it, make sure your engine is level. If it's not, why don't you take off this bracket, or actually just look at it. Does it look like this? This is our second generation bracket. There was a first generation bracket that actually used a third bolt hole, this one down here. But the part number on it should be AFB. So A is in alpha, F is in Frank, B is in boy. So if it has an AFB part number on it, it is the correct part. And it should be absolutely the right thing. There's also an AVB one that comes on the Integra, and that one has this mount a little bit higher. And then there's also the AFD version, which is for a D series engine. I'm not even sure if that one fit in, but it might. But anyway, if you think your engine's not sitting level, give us some pictures. Let us see what's going on. Unfortunately, it's going to have to be with the radiator out, or if you just put a straight edge across the tops of the fenders and make sure it's the same distance front to back, you should be able to tell whether or not it's level. And if it's not, let us know at Hasport. You can email us at orders@hasport.com, send the pictures there, and we'll make it right. Well, this car is going to get a refresh. We are going to put a B series back in it and get this thing back out to the track. It's not a short-term project. It's something that's going to be a little bit down the road because we need to redo the roll cage so Carter fits in the car a little bit better. But we are going to bring this car back to life, clean it up a little bit, put some more stickers on it, and get it back out of the track. Go, go, go.
This thing's really going to fly.
So please, guys, give us a like here. Maybe even subscribe if you like Honda videos. Anyways, thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next video. Go, go, go.
This thing's really going to fly.